शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो शिव 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 शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव शम्भो महादेव Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Good evening and welcome to Satsang with John David, here live from the Open Sky House in Hittorf. You can join the meeting tonight by Skype. The Skype address is Meeting John David. And then you can ask a question or just say hello and to connect. And if you like to spend some more intense time with John David, the upcoming weekend, there will be the Meditation Plus weekend in Denia. This is in Spain, near the Mediterranean, a very beautiful place. We have few places left. And if you miss this chance, the next opportunity will be the Easter retreat here in Hittorf from the 18th to the 22nd of April. Information to both events you find on the website www.johndavidsatsang.international. And if you like to visit us as a helper or a guest, you're very welcome. And information you find on the website www.opensky.international. Thank you.
Welcome to satsang. So I have great news tonight. We are broadcasting this meeting through SatTV, through YouTube, and through our Facebook page. So, isn't that exciting? We start with some jokes. A thirsty sailor runs from his ship to the nearest bar and shouts to the bartender, "Give me 20 shots of your best scotch, quick." The bartender pours out the shots and the sailor drinks them as fast as he can. The bartender is very impressed and exclaims, "Wow, I never saw anybody drink that fast." The sailor replies, "Well, you drink that fast too if you had what I have." The bartender says, "Oh my God, what is it? What do you have?" 50 cents, replies the sailor. Oh yeah, we've got two great jokes now, two of the greatest jokes. Tick them 5 stars. A woman's vegetable garden is growing well, but the tomatoes always stay green. So she walks to the neighbor and asks, "Your tomatoes are always red, while mine are always green. How do you do it?" The neighbor says, "Well, maybe it sounds absurd, but here is what you do. In the evening, you go into the garden and take off your clothes. When the tomatoes see you, they will blush. Tomorrow they will all be red. You will see. The next day they meet and the neighbor asks how it went. So, she said, the tomatoes are still green, but the cucumbers are 4 inches longer." The next one is even better. A 15-year-old boy and his father from the jungles of Brazil were in the shopping center for the first time after moving to America. They were amazed by almost everything they saw, but especially by 2 shiny silver walls that slid back together again. Could move apart, and slid back together again. The boy asked, "What is this, Father?" The father, never having seen an elevator, responded, "Son, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I don't know what it is." While the boy and his father were watching with amazement, a large old lady in a wheelchair moved up to the moving walls and pressed the button. The walls opened, and the lady rolled between them into a small room. The walls closed. The boy and his father watched the small numbers count up, then down, and a gorgeous 24-year-old blonde stepped out. The father, not taking his eyes off the young woman, said quietly to his son, "Go and get your mother." It's one of my favorite jokes, I must say. If it could be that easy. So I had an interesting afternoon. I was talking with our new volunteer from France, who it turns out is a Zen practitioner since many, many years. And we had a long talk, and near the end of this long talk, I asked her, "Well, have you got any kind of comments about our community?" And then she said, "Well, do you have any rules?" And I'm like scratching my head, do we have any rules? And I said, well, not really, except that, I do encourage everybody to go to the meditations. It's a kind of rule. She said, well, she said, I was completely surprised. I was in the meditation the other day and half the people were sleeping. And then Govinda got up and he was putting logs on the fire in the middle of the meditation, You see? But it's very interesting because, I was actually a very good meditator for many years, And, when you meditate a lot, you get to understand some kind of rules about meditation, yeah? And you realize that, you don't get up and put logs on the fire in the middle of the meditation. It's like completely verboten. Verboten? Something? Verboten. Okay, verboten, But of course, Govinda doesn't really know that, so he feels some responsibility to keep everybody warm, yeah? So that's quite sweet in a way. Yeah? And then it was a wonderful talk because maybe she'll come and join me in a moment, but Laurent was able to see that her judgments about Govinda and the logs and the sleeping meditators also was a kind of response to her own Zen conditioning. Yeah? So I was quite impressed that she was able to take it back and see what part was her part. Yeah? And just now we were sitting together quietly, and probably she was quite impressed because there was a beautiful silence here. So all these hopeless meditators who never come on time, who sleep in the meditation and put logs on the fire, somehow, when it really comes to it, they know how to be quiet, you see. So, yeah. Would you like to, shall we carry on a bit more? Is that a good beginning? If you got a microphone for... Yeah. Yeah. So Laurent more or less understands my English, but she doesn't always speak perfectly. Yeah? Bit French. Oh, you can. Yeah. Actually, I'm very impressed that she's even ready to try to speak English because, as we know, most French people won't speak English. Yeah? You have to do a special course if you're going to speak English. Yeah? A little bit closer. You just pull it to you. Yeah, good.
Okay.
So you've been here about 5 days?
No, more.
More? Ah.
Since je suis arrivée.
10 days
10
already?
days,
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So you probably know of some other crimes that goes on in this community, which unfortunately, I'm not around enough to know all the crimes.
Crime, c'est...
Crime.
Un crime.
On était peut-être au courant de crimes que lui, il n'a pas vu parce qu'il n'était pas là.
In fact, we've decided that if she decides to come and live here, she's going to bring her Zen stick. And she'll be in charge of discipline.
Lui,
Ah oui.
des crimes parce qu'ils n'ont pas respecté les règles.
Ah. Ah. I know, like, I'm conditioned
A bit
like,
straight.
yeah,
Yeah.
less than before,
Yeah.
because I don't do zazen anymore. But I have some croyances, beliefs. Of
Right.
course, I know this about how the meditation, for example, have to be doing
Right.
and not
Back has to be,
doing. Yeah.
back has to be straight.
Yeah, it's. But I realize when I saw things, lots of things I don't understand, and question come. And for example, about rules, les règles,
About what?
roots,
Roots?
yeah.
Rules.
Yeah,
rules.
about for example, but that I have so many examples. It's meditation or yoga. It's
Right.
some of them, but also during the lunch or the dinner, everybody go cook. They come. They don't come. So. I ask me about what's all this movement,
Right.
free movement, and also where is the community? What's in with which non dans quel à quel moment? Ah ben oui. When they go really together and to partager, to share why I am here and what I live here on. For example, is something I don't know happen with some peoples to speak to the. I really where is the moment where I can make the travel, le travail,
The work.
to work,
Right.
the work. I mean, also I know it. I'm very exigent.
You're very what?
Exigent.
Demanding.
For ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So I be careful to don't project on the other what I would like and what I think it's good. And it's because I don't know, I don't have the truth.
Right.
C'est ça? The truth.
Right. Well, I mean, what's very beautiful is that she was telling me that after many years of doing Zazen, she had a kind of collapse, kind of breakdown.
Ouais, une dépression.
And so this was maybe partly to do with her relationship. It was partly due to
Job.
her job was too much, and so she had a kind of crisis. And then she couldn't do Zazen anymore. So this was also part of the crisis, that she couldn't meditate, she couldn't sit quietly. Yeah? And then she saw that actually she'd been kind of conditioned with the discipline of Zazen. Yeah? Is that right?
Mm.
So this was a kind of interesting aspect of this breakdown that actually gave her a chance to kind of stand outside this strict discipline. Yeah? It was interesting for me because when I was 28, I was reading spiritual books, and it seemed to me that Zazen was my thing. It was going to be my thing, Zazen, because there was something very ascetic about Zazen. So I was like, And then I met some friends who were Japanese architects, and so they invited me to Tokyo. So I thought, Zazen and living in Tokyo, very good, I'll go to Tokyo. So, I remember my mother said, how are you going to manage in Tokyo? They all look the same. So I thought, I don't know, we'll see, because the ones I knew looked a bit different. I could I could recognize which was which, but of course my mother's had a slightly racialist point of view about Japanese. Anyway, so off I went to Japan, and I arrived in Tokyo and got kind of settled. And then I started to a little bit test something about Zazen. Yeah, good idea. Yeah. And very quickly I had the feeling, well, Zazen may not be really what I would like to do, because it was very rigorous. and I was telling her that I had gone to visit a very beautiful Zen Buddhist temple, a very famous temple actually. And I arrived in the morning, and by the gate of the monastery, which was part of the temple complex, there was a guy standing, you know, and he had one of these hats that cover the eyes, and he was wearing black, and he had a little bag on his shoulders, and he was wearing straw sandals. So he had the regulation Zen monk outfit on, you know. And so I saw him standing there very straight by the door. And then in the evening, after I spent the whole day, you know, touring around, he was still there. And I was like quite surprised, you know. It was 8 hours later, he's still standing there. And so I asked somebody, you know, what's going on with this guy? And then they explained, well, he wants to join the monastery. And as part of the kind of etiquette for joining the monastery, he would have to stand out there until somebody, maybe the head of the monastery, decided that he'd shown enough kind of strength of character, you know, to be allowed in the door, you know. So this was a kind of confirmation that I was right not to get involved with Zen. And then I remember a few years later, I was in a Korean monastery in the south of Korea. Beautiful monastery, but not like a Japanese monastery. Quite sort of, well, quite relaxed, really. And I had a very nice room. And it's interesting, you know, you probably know in Japan, the floor of the traditional room is made with what they call tatami, which is like straw mats. And they put them in different patterns. But in Korea, they have a different system because they heat under the floor. It's quite clever. They have pipes under the floor, and then they put clay, and then they have a kind of greased paper floor. It's completely different. Anyway, I was staying in this room, and suddenly this, I think he was actually, sorry to say this, but he was a German Zen guy who arrived from Japan to this Korean monastery, and he arrived to my room. We had to share this room. And if I needed any confirmation, he arrived and he started cleaning everything, you know. He's cleaning the wooden columns and beams, cleaning the floor. He cleaned the whole place like with a toothbrush. And I thought to myself, oh, thank God I never got involved with Zen. Yeah? Yeah. But of course, there's something very beautiful about Zen too, because this very strict discipline, this very, in a way, clear beliefs about meditation, for example, has led to very beautiful art. Those of you who know, in Japan, they have, they have theater, for example. They have something called no theater, where they wear a white mask, and they have a completely bare stage, no scenery, and no costume, and they play out the theater with tremendous drama, actually, kind of drama, and the drama comes from the voice of the actors. I think the actors are all men, probably, but maybe not. So that's one example of the kind of art that comes from this strong discipline, which in a way becomes very beautiful. But I can see that my destiny was not to stay in Japan, was not to Zen, and I got, of course, transported to an ashram in India, and if I look back on my life, I would have to say that I was somehow fitting that destiny much better. And now I would say that here in this community, we're following a kind of Indian kind of destiny, not a Japanese Zen kind of destiny. So, yeah, this came out in our talk today because she was asking, well, don't you have any rules? And I couldn't really think of any except that, you know, we should go to the meditation. And even that, you know, people don't always follow. But it was very beautiful because as we were talking, Laurent was explaining that she'd had quite a lot of moments of her essence being there, a deep sense of emptiness, kind of void, void, deep silence. And she'd been having this throughout her life, actually. Yeah? And then I was explaining that in fact that's what this community is about. And in a way it's very interesting for me to see that this space can come through different kinds of spiritual practice, if you like, or even no practice, even falling asleep in the meditation practice. But maybe it doesn't really matter in the end about the practice. It's more important that there is a kind of deep longing, yeah, for that.
Profond désir. Oui.
Which maybe you have.
Est-ce que tu l'as, ce profond désir?
Je dois répondre? I have to answer.
Yes, you have to answer, otherwise we'll get out the Zen stick and hit you on the head.
I have to go to meditate before.
Have we got any sticks here?
Can I?
No, you don't have to answer. It's okay. If
Can
you like.
I need to meditate before answer.
Okay.
Is it a good answer?
Well, we'll have to consider that. We have to consider that. Yeah, it was quite an interesting conversation we had because, of course, I realized that, somehow over the years of having this community, we've come to see that you can't decide to live here by some idea, actually. The only way you can decide to live here is in a way to come and get involved. Yeah. And by getting involved, somehow the heart makes a clear decision at some point. And if we try to decide by some idea, then actually our experience in the past has been that it doesn't work very well. A lot of the people who maybe were attracted by some idea, doesn't work. Some of you remember Gabby, the large lady who was with us in India this year. She had decided at some point, I think even before India really, she decided she would like to live here. And actually we're quite open to her. We rather liked her actually. And at the end of the retreat, first Radha and then John David, we had a talk with her. And she never recovered from this conversation because she had the feeling that we completely, we completely judged her. We were very judgmental. I remember I told her, well, your 20 years of, she also was a Zen meditator, your 20 years of Zen doesn't seem to have brought you any silence, And this was like incredibly upsetting for her. So, of course, if we're very personally identified, then any practice doesn't work very well. Yeah? The problem actually is the identification. Because actually, even today, we had a feeling that actually Gabby is a good person, and if she really wants to live here, we're not against that. Yeah? But because she was so identified with something, she just got completely upset, actually. And in the last couple of weeks, we've had this also with Hussein. If you're watching Hussein, hello. We actually like you, Hussein. Maybe he's surprised to know that, because again, he took various feedback he got to be judgments against him, you see. And these judgments come only when you're very identified, you see, with your ego. So if you're getting upset by something that is said to you, it means you're very identified with some idea about yourself. Yeah, I remember I was quite amused in one meeting some years ago that a guy at the back of the meeting was actually in India. He shouted out at me, "Fat sack," which was true actually. I was much too, I was a fat sack. And at the same time, I was surprised to discover that I didn't get upset about that. It just felt like quite funny, really. Yeah. So Laurence got to quite an interesting moment because her life is not particularly working on the outside, and she understands that what she really longs for is something on the inside. Yeah? Mm. And in a way, that's been your priority, it seems, for many years. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Would you like to tell me some more things about our community? Because, I'm...
No, I think it's enough. For tonight. I have so many examples, so many details.
Give us
all the night to...
Give us a couple.
I have a big list.
Have you got a...
Huh?
Give us a couple, because we'll probably laugh about it, We won't get too excited. Are they all? Is the whole list about Govinda?
Not only.
Not only Govinda. Good, yeah. Govinda's a very particular person. Yeah.
For example, about the silence.
Did you enjoy the silence in the beginning of the meeting?
Yeah.
It was good, yeah?
Mm. Yeah, because you are here.
Because I'm here.
Yeah. I don't want to tell this that I never, for example, when we meditate, some short moment. C'est à quel moment déjà? Yes. In the morning on the réunion meeting, and that is very short moment. Short moment right. On one day.
Right.
I mean, for me, it's not enough.
Right.
It's not enough. And
bring your stick.
Yeah. Yeah. And so many laughing, many blah blah. Laughing.
Oh, terrible. We put that on the top of the list, yeah?
Yeah.
The new rules for Open Sky House. No laughing. No laughing.
I always said this.
Right. Yeah, she's an expert, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No laughing, okay. I think we'll have to get together and we'll make a list.
Yes.
The rules. 2019.
Yeah.
Just in time,
Yeah. I'm a specialist of the list.
Of the list, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also she expects we should have some beliefs. Is that right? We need some beliefs.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's no good like it is now, where everybody has different beliefs. So we're going to have meetings to decide on some beliefs. Yeah? Is that right? We need beliefs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Les croyances.
Yeah. We need some beliefs, yeah? Everybody should follow them, yeah?
Ouais, je me doute bien. J'ai bien compris. Yeah, mais il a raison.
We need some, yeah. And
She said
probably,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah. I like very much when people, quand quelqu'un se moque de moi. J'aime beaucoup qu'on se moque de moi.
She likes when someone has jokes on her.
Parce que
Jokes
moi
on
aussi
her.
j'aime
Yeah.
beaucoup me moquer.
Right.
Because she like also...
We also need some philosophy, yeah? Some philosophy. Better than beliefs even, but we need a system of philosophy, yeah? The open sky house philosophy.
Non,
Yeah?
dogme c'est encore mieux. Dis-lui.
Dogma. Yeah, we need some dogma.
It's best.
Yeah.
Like the church.
When I'm getting so old that when I'm gone, if I don't leave some dogma, it will all fall apart, I think.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
Que quand il s'en ira, s'il n'y a pas de dogme, tout partira à volo.
Yeah, we definitely need some dogma. Yeah. Maybe you turn it down a bit.
Yes. It's like Picasso.
But it's on your screen, darling, I think.
From your corner, sorry.
Oh, dear me, we have so much fun here. All right. So what are we going to do now? What are we going to do with you? I mean, you've been here 10 days, and now you're coming to Spain, and you can speak Spanish, I understand, yeah?
Yeah, and I can swim.
You can swim. we have even a big swimming pool.
Yeah.
You can swim every day.
On the beach.
Near the beach, yeah? Near the beach. But you can choose then. You can swim in the Mediterranean or you can swim in our swimming pool. Yeah. We have a big pond as well. You can swim in there as well.
Point?
Fish pond we have. We have a big fish pond and you can also swim in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a bit muddy, but I understand the girls, some people have gone down to Denia, they've been cleaning it. Because I said we've got this French woman who you never know where she's going to swim. You better clean the fish pond.
Les personnes qui sont allées en avant sont à nettoyer le bassin poisson parce qu'il y avait une femme française qui ne savait jamais où il fallait aller se baigner.
Yeah. So she lives in Versailles, you know. Have you heard of Versailles? They have this big house there. I thought we had a very big house, but they have an even bigger house there. One of the French kings, I think, was it Louis XIV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
14, 16,
Yeah.
30.
And his wife got,
Yeah.
is that right?
Of 16. Louis 16,
Yeah.
Marie-Antoinette.
And she lost her head.
Yeah.
You're right. Wow. You have to
But,
be careful in France. So you guys better get a shape up, otherwise you might lose your head. They don't use it so much anymore, do they? We probably can buy a second-hand one, you know. You can bring your Zen stick and an old, one of the old guillotines.
Il va remplacer le...
Maintenant, on utilise plus tellement la guillotine, donc tu peux peut-être en avoir une en seconde main et la ramener
Ici pour l'utiliser en plus de...
We put it in the courtyard. That will get them to the meditation on time.
Quoi? C'est bon. But I begin like this first. I cut this before and this after and this
Your
and
fingers.
this.
Yeah.
if they don't come to meditation.
Right.
I begins to cut this,
Well,
and after this,
I suggest you
after
start by
this-
just hitting them. Don't cut their fingers, but hit them
Ah ouais,
first. Yeah.
cac.
Yeah.
Il suggère quand même de
And with
commencer d'abord
Govinda,
par
you can
frapper
just
avant de couper.
directly
Oh,
go to his both shoulders. You know? Hit him on both. He needs double the treatment.
Govinda, il arriverait directement aux épaules.
Ouais, le coup, c'est cool. Mais
You know, when he was young, he just didn't get any discipline. I think that's the trouble. He must have been a wild kid, I think. We have a few wild people here. Did you meet Kashi yet? She's pretty wild. I think she just came tonight. Did you meet her before?
yes,
Yeah.
I work with her.
Are you working with her? You have to be
Yes,
careful.
she
She's-
showed me how to clean the doors,
Really?
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
bathroom.
She's pretty wild. You have to be careful with her. She comes from a family of priests, you know. Yeah,
Une famille de prêtres.
Yeah.
Elle vient d'une famille de prêtres.
yeah,
oui.
yeah. That's
Donc,
why she has
beaucoup de
such a
rois.
short haircut. You see, you created a lot of trouble tonight for me. She's created so much trouble for me tonight.
T'as créé beaucoup de troubles.
I'm not sure if it's you or it was that glass of wine I had at lunchtime.
Il n'est pas sûr que ce soit toi ou si c'est le verre de vin.
When I ordered the wine, you know, it said 0.1 of a liter. 0.1.
100 millilitres.
So I thought, well, that's not very much.
Il a bu ce soir. Ça fait quoi 100 millilitres? Je sais pas. Okay.
And then when the glass came, I thought, oh, that's quite a lot of wine in the glass. And then when the bill came, it turned out that we had a kind of double glass.
Et 10 centilitres, c'est pas beaucoup. Puis quand il a vu le verre, il a fait, oh, c'est quand même pas mal. Et puis quand il a vu l'addition, il a dit, oh là là, c'est pire.
Yeah, two
C'est
glasses
deux verres,
cost
yeah.
as much as a whole
Yeah.
bottle of wine, actually. Yeah. So I'm a little bit, you know.
Oh.
I'm probably a bit drunk, actually. Have you had many teachers who are drunk?
Il me demande si je médite avec quelqu'un qui a bu.
Yeah, we have a big
If you don't
alcohol.
sleep.
We have a big alcohol problem here.
Yes, there's never enough.
Yeah, we have alcohol and drugs problems here. Yeah, yeah, a lot of problems. You have to be careful. I can't recommend this place for somebody, you know. It's probably the
It's
wrong
not for
place
me.
for you. Probably the wrong place for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's very nice with Laurent because in the beginning we had a bit serious talk, you know, a bit serious. And then at some point it changed, and you can see she's very open, yeah? Do you realize this? That this funny community, and you've been 10 days here,
Ah, yeah.
somehow you're very open, your heart's very open actually. You're not angry with my silly talk, yeah?
No.
No.
Oh, no. No, I like.
You like it? Yeah. Most French.
It's funny.
Most French, they don't like this.
Yeah, but they don't practice zazen.
So if you practice zazen in France, you become funny.
Not at all.
No.
No.
Yeah. They're very serious in Japan. It's amazing how serious they are
Yeah, yeah.
with zazen.
Very hard.
Yeah,
It's not for me.
I haven't talked about Japan probably for 15 years. But next week I'm going to Tokyo. Can you imagine?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to see my old Zen master.
S'il est quand?
Je sais pas.
La semaine prochaine, il
Il va à
va
Tokyo voir son ancien maître zen.
It's a joke.
Actually, well, it's not. It is a kind of joke, but it's not really a joke because when I lived in Japan, I quickly gave up the idea of Zen. Yeah.
J'ai pas tout saisi.
C'est une blague, mais pas tant que ça, parce qu'il a vite abandonné l'idée d'aller faire du zen, de suivre le zen.
But then I met a Japanese woman, small woman. You know, they're all a bit small there. And I met this small woman, and she became my Zen master, actually.
Et il a rencontré une femme, une petite femme, et elle est devenue son maître zen.
Son maître zen? Oh.
So in the end, I had to marry her because I didn't want to lose this tough Zen teacher or master. I thought of her as a master.
Il a dû l'épouser pour garder près de lui cette forte prof de zen.
She taught me two very important things. Actually, three important things in 12 years. The first one was she taught me that whatever you're doing, you complete it and then do the next thing. I thought this is pretty amazing, actually. And the other thing...
Quand tu fais quelque chose, tu vas
fais à fond.
tu fais complètement avant de faire
Zen. Japanese.
I discovered this is very good. It was very good. I was English, so I didn't really understand that. So the other thing she taught me was that when you go traveling, you put everything into a bag, and then all these bags go in the suitcase.
Tu fais plein de petits sacs que tu mets dans ta valise.
Ouais.
Yeah, and again, this was a big lesson because as I was English, I just kind of threw everything into the suitcase, you know. But she would pack it all up very carefully, put it in little bags, and then all the bags would be in the big suitcase.
Oh.
So very important. And then the other thing, the most important thing she taught me, she couldn't speak any English, and I couldn't speak any Japanese. So she taught me the language of silence. This is really Zen, yeah? The language of silence. So this was really like, wow, it's one of the most important teachings of my life. Because again, I was English, and I always thought, you know, blah, 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 blah. We went together one time, we went to London to meet my family and my friends. I wanted them to check out if I should marry her or not, actually. So we went and met my friends, and we met my family, and we would perhaps go out to have dinner with some friends, yeah. We sit and talk, and there'd be a lot of talking. She would sit for maybe 2 hours without saying anything, completely silent. And then when we got home, we invented our own kind of sign language and pidgin English, you know. And then she would tell me all these things about my friends. And I was like, wow, how does she know that?
Elle lui a dit, en fait, après 2 heures de silence pendant le repas, que plein de choses, elle avait vues.
And that was, I realized this is the language of silence, that if you're quiet, then every little gesture tells you something about a person. You know?
Yeah. So Zazen is not so bad.
No. Actually, she came from a downtown Tokyo family, a kind of traditional family. So their daily life was naturally Zazen, actually. I mean, the whole of Japan is following Zazen. Well, 20 years ago they were. Well, actually, 40 years ago they were. I don't know anymore. And the reason for that was that the walls in the house, they're only paper.
Yeah.
So everybody has to be quiet. Nowadays, probably it's changed, yeah? But in those traditional houses, it was just paper between one room and the other room. And so everybody was practicing Zazen, actually, kind of. So the language in a family would be silence. And they would observe somehow each other. They'd have some way of communicating through energy, not through words.
Mm.
Have you been to Japan?
No.
Okay. So how are you feeling now?
Quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Have you a question?
No, thank you very much.
No question?
No more.
No more questions.
I think it's not enough tonight. It's too much to
Yeah.
try to have answer about all my questions.
Yeah.
And I don't have. Just now, I don't have questions.
No?
Not now. No, it's okay.
So I've answered your questions in one way. In one way, I've answered all her questions.
D'une certaine manière, il a répondu à toutes tes questions.
Yeah.
And when you come to Spain, you're going to like our house in Spain. It's very beautiful.
There are 10 days that everybody, well, not everybody, but lots of people of the community told me, oh, it's a very beautiful house. It's a
Yeah.
very beautiful house.
Yeah.
And on the beginning, when I come, before coming, she told me, oh, you go to Spain. Huh?
Maybe.
Well, maybe.
Right.
And but it was on Sunday and after I forget no. Oui. Sorry,
One
I
of those
forget.
sleeping meditators.
So Radha told me, no, John David said, not yet to Spain. You have to wait few days. Okay, and few days. Not yet. You have to stay in the community. And this, all the time they tell me, oh, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. Yes, but let me go on. And it's like me retiennent. It's like
Yeah.
hold on.
This is one of our main rules, you know, that we always hold people here. You can't go to Spain until you really, you know, you have to be really ready for Spain.
C'est une des règles de la communauté, c'est de te garder ici. Il faut vraiment que tu aies envie d'y aller pour y aller.
Faut vraiment que je revienne
Que tu aies envie d'y aller.
en Espagne. In Spain, I want.
They speak Spanish in Spain, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody here speaks Spanish. So we have a lot of trouble actually. Yeah. Yeah.
I know Spain. I like Spanish people.
Yeah. Yeah, we like them also, but we can't talk to them. We might not like them so much if we talk to them. But in fact, tomorrow we have a very interesting Spanish man coming here.
Oh.
Yeah, his name is Alfonso.
Yes, artist.
He's a very good painter, and he's coming for his exhibition. On Sunday we're opening the exhibition. And he's from Lanzarote in the Canary Islands.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And it's quite interesting. You may have noticed that, for example, that's one of his paintings over there. So he paints with the black sand from Lanzarote.
Il parle du sable noir de Lanzarote.
Because they have a lot of volcanoes, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I look the painting and I ask me, is it, comment on dit du sable?
Sand.
Sand.
He uses the volcanic,
right.
like the volcanic dust, which covers the island.
I understand.
It's a black island. You go on the beach, it's black sand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Right. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Okay, it must be your turn. Yes. Do you need translation? Yeah. Can you translate somebody? Tara, maybe? So you got a new hairstyle since you've been home?
No, it's only this.
Yeah.
Ein bisschen näher das Mikrofon.
So how was home?
Wie war es zu Hause?
Etwas stressig, aber okay.
A little bit stressy, but okay.
Yeah. They think you're involved with a cult, probably.
Glauben die jetzt, dass du in eine Sekte reingehst?
Ja.
Yeah.
My mom.
Your mum thinks? Yeah. All right. All right. Well, you can tell her she's welcome to come and visit, you know.
Kannst du ihr erzählen, dass sie total eingeladen ist, hier mal zu gucken?
Then she can decide, maybe.
Dann kann sie ja dann entscheiden.
So what about you? You came back to this funny place?
Und du bist jetzt zurückgekommen zu diesem seltsamen Ort hier?
Yes. Why not?
Well, you had a good chance to escape. Yeah? You could have escaped.
Wäre doch eine gute Gelegenheit gewesen, zu fliehen
From the cult, you know, dangerous place.
von diesem gefährlichen Ort da, dieser Sekte.
Hatte ich nicht vor.
It was not my plan.
Okay. Do you have a plan?
Hast du denn einen Plan?
She has a plan. Aha.
No, she said no.
No.
No plan. Okay. And how was it for you? You came back today or you came yesterday?
Today.
Today. And how was it for you coming back into the community today after you've been away for 3 or 4 days? Or?
3 days. 3 days, yes. Es war wieder neu irgendwie.
It was somehow new again.
Yeah. Cool, do you say?
New.
New.
New. Right. And what was your impression then?
Was war dein Eindruck?
Weiß nicht. I don't know.
No.
Also, in mir hat sich viel verändert, auch seitdem ich zu Hause wieder war.
Inside of myself, a lot has changed. Also, since I was again at home.
Und
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Hast du Geschwister?
yes, one sister, one brother.
Yeah, and they're living at home.
Yes.
Yeah, you're the oldest one,
No, the middle.
the middle one.
Yeah.
And what do they think about joining a cult? They also think you're joining a cult?
Glauben die auch, dass du in eine Sekte eintrittst?
Ein bisschen, a little bit.
Yeah?
Yes. But my sister will come next week,
Yeah? Wow.
maybe.
Okay. Maybe she'll join us too. Is she older or younger?
Older,
Older. Okay.
26.
26. Oh, she's very old. I don't think we can really take anybody that old. I must say it's very funny for me talking with you, you know, because you're. I guess I almost never meet anybody as young as you. I've become so old that now when I look at you, you look like, I don't know, a schoolgirl in the first class or something.
Ich treffe so selten junge Leute und die Perspektive, weil ich so alt bin, verändert sich irgendwie und du wirkst so wahnsinnig jung, fast wie so ein Mädchen in der ersten Klasse.
And you probably think you're very mature and wise. And you don't really understand why you're not running the whole world.
Und du hältst dich wahrscheinlich für reif und weise und verstehst gar nicht, warum du nicht die ganze Welt organisierst.
You know, I was like, when I was your age, I thought like that, you know.
Also als ich in deinem Alter war, da habe ich zumindest so gedacht.
I remember one night my parents invited some friends for drinks, you know, kind of party, like a little party.
Also ich erinnere mich noch, eines Abends haben meine Eltern Freunde eingeladen, so ein bisschen zu so einer
And they were
Cocktailparty.
probably, 35 or 40.
Ich glaube, die waren so alle 35, 40 Jahre alt.
And I made some comment about how old they all were, and they were completely shocked, you know, that I could see them as very old.
Dann habe ich so einen Kommentar gemacht, dass die doch schon alt sind und die fanden das sehr schockierend.
And now I became very old, you know.
Und jetzt bin ich selber
I'm
sehr
really
alt
old. I
geworden.
mean, now I'm really ancient, actually.
Ja, jetzt bin ich fast schon antik.
And you're like amazingly young, you know. I can hardly believe this whole thing about age.
Und du bist so jung, ich kann diese ganze Sache mit dem Alter gar nicht richtig verstehen.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm out in the city, you know, and I see people running around, and I'm like, well, in the shops, for example, the people working in the shops, they all look like they should still be in school.
Ich jetzt zum Beispiel in ein Geschäft gehe, sehen die Leute so jung aus, dass ich denke, die gehören doch noch in die Schule.
Yeah. It's horrible being old, I tell you.
Ich sag dir, es ist schrecklich, alt zu sein.
Yeah. Don't get old. I strongly recommend it.
Mach das nicht, werd nicht alt.
It's not at all a good idea. You know? If you can avoid it, you know.
Wenn du es irgendwie vermeiden kannst.
All right. So have you got any good spiritual questions after you've been away so long?
Hast du jetzt, nachdem du weg warst, irgendeine gute spirituelle Frage?
Nee,
Not really. Have you read my book?
Hast du mein Buch gelesen?
ich schaue ab und zu rein. Oder ich lese immer ein paar Seiten.
I read a few pages from time to time.
Okay. So you'll have some questions later, next year.
Vielleicht kommen da ja Fragen raus.
Okay. Good. Welcome back. Okay. On Sunday we're going to have an art opening.
Am Sonntag haben wir ja die
You can wear all your
Ausstellungseröffnung.
best gear. You know, if you have any high heels,
besten
and all
Klamotten
this kind of
tragen.
stuff, you can look very cool.
Dann kannst du nämlich cool aussehen.
Das habe ich gar nicht so coole Klamotten.
I haven't got this cool outfit.
No? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Vielleicht kann ich es mir leihen. Von
Maybe I can
jemandem.
borrow something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We all transform into the arty crowd.
An dem Tag, da transformieren wir alle in so eine
You'll be
Künstlergemeinde.
surprised when you see Radha on Sunday. She always wears something very...
Du wirst erstaunt sein, wie die Radha am Sonntag
lot
aussieht.
of black lace.
Da so schwarze Spitze.
Okay. Poor Shampa, she's having a hard time tonight. She's wondering what kind of crazy meeting she's come to. It used to be quite a normal sort of meeting with sane people, and today suddenly it became like a bit crazy. Yeah? No?
I enjoy it.
Yeah?
I'm just very tired.
You're very tired. Okay. Well, if I carry on talking, maybe you'll just fall asleep. Yeah? Okay, I think we're going to stop now. Yeah, I've got no more jokes. I'm out of jokes. Okay, good. Okay, thank you.